What's going on, growers? It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. Me and Tuck have a fun one for you today. We're going to be exposing the apples from the store for what they are, comparing them with apples grown fresh at home. Let's go! Let's jump right into it. I'm going to be comparing my favorite variety of apple, the Honeycrisp apple. One that you buy from the store, like right here, with the Honeycrisp apple that you grow at home, like this tree right here. Here's the tree I'm going to be getting the apple from. This is a tree that I put in 4 years ago. I planted this in the spring of 2018 from a bare root from Rain Tree Nursery. And this is the Honeycrisp apple, like I mentioned. This is on a dwarf rootstock. So this thing won't get bigger than like 11 feet. Typically the dwarf rootstocks get to about 10 or 11 feet. But even though they don't get very large, they still have a high level of production. This thing was loaded with even more apples earlier in the season. I'll put a little clip in, but overall just great production. And if you don't have the space for this, you can even grow something like a mini dwarf tree. Those things only get about 6 feet tall. But let's get into actually comparing the taste of the apples. So I've got one from the store here. Now we're gonna cut one out from this tree. And look at the size of some of these apples. I mean, these things are getting massive. So look how easily that came off, and oh my gosh, just first off, let's get the size comparison. But let's bring them over to the table, cut them open, do some comparisons, and find out if it's really worth planting your own apples at home. Now, let's bring these apples over to the table and cut them open, see what they look like on the inside. Look at the size difference though, just to start. I mean, the apples I grew are way bigger than the other one. Some of that has to do with how much I thinned this young apple tree. Even though it's a small tree, it puts out a lot of fruit and good sized apples because I thinned it. So instead of producing a lot of small bad apples, I got a few good, well, a good amount of big, nice, delicious apples. So I wanted to mention something too. You know, picking the fruit from the tree, there's something to that. One of the most fun thing for me is just like coming out here and grabbing the fruit from the tree. And I know you felt the same way probably too, where you're like going out and grabbing tomatoes, you know, one from the vine and just grabbing it. It's extremely fun. So there's something to that, I think too. But I'm talking a little too much. Let's actually get into cutting open these apples. So I've got 3 different kinds for comparison. Let me actually just first shine this apple. So this is the one that I just picked. Let's shine this baby up because you can see how shiny the ones from the store are. Let's just shine this up by just rubbing it on the shirt. And we'll see. There we go, there's some shine. So we've got the Honeycrisp apple that is just a regular one. These are $2.49 a pound from the store. Then we've got the organic Honeycrisp right here. These are $3.50 right now from the store. And then my homegrown one. So these apples are expensive. And that's one, the price that they are in season. Out of season, they're even more expensive. And these apples are more expensive than some of the other apples. I know that. I chose this because it's my favorite variety, and I also want to have an even comparison. So it just makes more sense to choose all the same variety. Some of you might not even know that an apple isn't just an apple. There are thousands of different varieties of apple. So Honeycrisp happens to be one of my favorite. Let's cut into this though and see what we got. First, let's actually cut into the regular apple. So this one's not organic, Honeycrisp. Let's cut right into it. Looks nice on the inside. Nothing to complain about. Cut this one open. Just like that. There's one. Then we'll go with the organic one. You can see the organic, how it has some of the fungus just like mine there. So that just happens a little bit. I could have got rid of some more of this fungus if I sprayed with sulfur a little later into the season, but I decided not to. Now let's cut into the organic apple. This one has, I can tell even by the cut, it's got more of like a crisp than this one. So the organic one already, just cutting into it, I can tell has a little better of a crisp. So here's the organic one here. And now the moment of truth, let's cut into the homegrown one. These are so good. There's gonna be a little bias here because I mean, I've had these before, but yeah, I don't know if you heard that, but the snap, it's got a little bit more of a snap, the natural one, because this thing was just picked right now. So the thing about these apples, as I cut into them a little more, is the ones from the store, who knows when they were picked? Who knows, you know, just how ripe they are. They're obviously not really ripe, but we don't know when they were picked, how they were grown, or anything like that. So when you grow the stuff yourself, there's a little bit of insurance and a little bit of, you know, a safety knowing exactly what went into it. So this is the store one, regular. This is the organic. And then here's my homegrown. So let's just cut those. Get a slice of each and then really get the taste going. Okay, let's start with the regular first. Regular apple. First we'll get a little smell. Not much smell at all. Let's see it. Look, you can see how it's like the color isn't a deep red. It's like a faded red almost. But we'll try it. Really good, but doesn't have that snap, that pop, and a mild flavor for the Honeycrisp. One of the things I love about the Honeycrisp is you can eat it relatively early. It's not fully ripe until like, late September around here, but you can eat them now. And if you eat them early, they've got a little bit of tartness and incredible snap to it. It's just really good, a great texture, but that one is just mild overall in flavor. Now let's try the organic one. This thing should be pretty good. Let's taste this baby. Wow, I'm actually blown away how different these are. The organic one honestly tastes way different. The amount of flavors is 5x from that one, definitely, at least, maybe 10x. I'm not sure if it's the minerals or what went into it, but a lot better flavor. Sometimes I worry about some of the regular apples that you're just putting like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in them, just the basics, and you're not getting all those trace minerals, which I think develop a lot of the flavors in a lot of the good food. So I think you're getting some of that in the organic, but let's try the homegrown one. Overall, it just looks, the look better, it feels better, maybe because I grew it in my hands, but let's see. This is what matters, the taste. Texture is not even close. 1,000 times sweeter than the first one. Not even close. Just listen to even the difference of the bite of the organic one. I mean the regular one and the organic one. Here's the regular one. A way starchier snap. Not that clean, crisp Honeycrisp one. Now let's try the homegrown one. Not even close. I have never done this where I've compared them like at the exact same time like this. So I knew the regular ones weren't as good as the homegrown ones. Yeah, I knew that, but I can't believe how even better the organic ones are. So, oh man, I'm really surprised actually by the results. You cannot beat the homegrown in my opinion, but the organic are good. Look how quickly all the apples are oxidizing. That's how we know we have good fresh food. I mean, it seems like the fresher the food, the quicker it goes bad, which is amazing. So this video, comparing the apples, I want to make this to encourage you to plant your own trees. This isn't a video meant to discourage you from like buying things from the food store. That's not what it's about. And I'm not discouraging you from not buying organic. I think you should definitely buy organic when you have the option in the food store. And if you can't grow your own food, and I can in certain situations, then I always buy organic. I think that if we don't have the opportunity to grow our own food, we should try to vote as best we can with our dollars. So I like to buy organic food, even if it's not amazing quality and if it's a little more expensive, just because I like that choice. I feel like if we're not, again, voting with our dollars, then we might lose that choice in the future. So I always want that opportunity to be there. And I think that it's just something that we should support, even if it's not perfect. I know organic's not perfect, but still, I'm definitely for it. And I want all of you to just like get your fruit trees into the ground, because there's an incredible amount of joy that comes along with it. And there's something that's hard to, I guess, like put into words, a level of appreciation for nature and gardening in general. When, let's think back to, I look at this thing in the winter and it's literally just looks like a stick. It just looks like a stick in the winter. And then all of a sudden spring comes, it flowers, and it's like a giant rose. It's in the same family as the rose. So it goes from a stick in the winter to a rose in the spring, and then, an incredible, beautiful fruit producing tree in the summer and fall. So it's almost like a fairy tale to me, like the way it happens. And when you can see every piece of it and your hands a part of it, it makes everything more enjoyable. It makes the fruit taste better, and it just, again, it's hard to put into words. So I want everyone to be a part of that, because it's more than just food. It's almost like a different way of life. It's time for the final verdict, and I think you probably already know. I kind of had my mind made up before it even started, but you cannot compare with this local, this organic, and this natural compared to the stuff you get in the store. There's no way the stuff in the store is as natural as I'm growing it. There's only like a few small sprays that I use, like the surround on this, so it's tough to beat. I think everyone should be getting their own fruits and veggies into the ground if they can. It doesn't have to be an apple tree. That's just one thing. A great way to start if you don't have a lot of space is something like strawberries. Strawberries are one of those things that'll just open your mind to the difference between what happens when you grow it yourself and getting it from the store. The only problem is when you start growing your own strawberries, if you get like the Shucksin variety or something and you start eating them, then it's gonna ruin strawberries for you. And that's just part of it. Same thing with tomatoes. Like, I can't even eat tomatoes through the winter because the ones I get from the garden, there's not even a comparison. It's like apples and oranges. So when you can start growing your own stuff at home, it'll give you another level of appreciation. And I also think that if you plant an apple tree, if you plant strawberries, you're just going to go outside more because it's fun to check in on the stuff, to see the progression of things. So it's going to make you get outside more. And then if you get apples, it's going to make you eat apples more. And then when you have the apples, it's like a domino effect where you'll plant another tree and then you'll plant another tree, and then all of a sudden you're surrounded by food in a forest and you don't really know what happened, but you're just thankful that it did. So I kind of want to try to put some other people in that situation because it's just a joyful process when it comes down to it. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. The boss wasn't in the video a lot this time. He's been like out doing his thing. It's a super nice day, so he's definitely making the most of it. Look at him. He found his little cucumber. Now he's just snacking on it. We plant these cucumbers in the pallet raised bed here, and then we just let them trellis out along the ground. And Tuck finds them, snacks on them, and just enjoys them. I wanted to say a few more things before I let you go. One of the things is, one of the reasons I wanted to make this video was for some of the people who are like still on the fence, whether or not they should be growing some of their own veggies and fruits in their own backyard. Like, they're just teetering, undecided. I'm here to push you over the edge and to tell you to take some action today. There's that old saying when it comes to fruit trees, the best time to plant a fruit tree is 7 years ago. The second best time is now. So I know it's not the ideal time to plant fruit trees, but you could still take action. You could still go onto a website, pre-order your tree, or even just start doing some research just to take the first step to getting there. Because I think we should all be taking full advantage of the incredible gifts we have. Just think about it. When it comes to a fruit tree and nature in general, like an apple, all we have to do is buy that bare root apple tree, plant it into the ground, guide it along a little bit, and then it produces fruit. It's such an amazing agreement that we have. Imagine that we had to do something crazy, like we had to plant a tree and then we had to make it grow. Where do you even start? That'll keep you up at night. How do you make a tree grow? Well, I mean, how do you do it? It's impossible. We don't have to worry about any of that though. We just have to set things up, guide it, take care of it, and then we get all the blessings that come from it. So I think that's an incredible system. I think we should be trying to take advantage whenever we can. So get your trees in, take some action. Before I let you go, I want to thank Jeff Manning for the new channel membership. Thank you for being a part of Team Grow. It means a lot to me and Tuck. Digging something back there. This guy never stops. He's hidden behind all the morning glory and the blackberries, but he's having a great time too. I also wanted to thank everyone who are giving super chats to the channel. That's just awesome of you. So me and Tuck want to just give a big thank you to everyone. We can't do everyone personally, but just know that we read it. It means a lot, and we wanted to thank you. And I also want to say, before you go, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share with your friends. Don't forget to check out the merch down low. And remember, whenever you're on Amazon, start your shopping with our Amazon affiliate link. Also, sign up for Amazon Prime because they have a new Prime Video. They have a new big promotion going on. So if you want to give back to me and Tuck without having to actually give anything, get that Prime Video membership. Tuck, the boss, the king of the garden, the master, the leader, and his apprentice James, we'll be back again real soon. We